Good evening, everybody. Good morning, good evening. What the hell time of day is it? We're gonna unpack a few things. You saw in the thumbnail. Crazy turbulent time. It's the truth, sir. Come hang out. I think my channel is up again, so support me however you can. I will try not to. I'll keep it clean. I'll keep it clean. All right. Uh, of course, so much to be said about the ongoings, and of course, I smoke and I drink coffee and I got to get my lighter. I'm really prepared. I'm really prepared. I just lost the one viewer I had. It's all right. Uh, Of course, we bombed the nuclear, the enriching of uranium, which is the nuclear bomb capacity, Iran's capacity to have these nuclear bombs. So of course we we took that out, okay, which should have been done a long time ago. And we've been playing this Iran in the UN, United Nations. Now, this Mr. Dannon, that's the prime minister of Israel, goes to an emergency meeting Sunday night. Emergency meeting. And you would think that the international landscape, you would think that the international landscape would be in favor. Now, Iran, by proxy, with all their little agents of terror that are all over the place, all backed by Iran, that's been playing this game for years, you think that the international climate and thinking at this emergency meeting at the United Nations, you think they'd feel somewhat sympathetic toward Israel when you got known terrorist regime, Iran, that's been funding all these pockets, all these terrorist cells to do their dirty work. So they want to turn around and say, what a big mistake from Donald Trump. Now, Iran's been messing with us. Joe Biden was in bed with Iran. And we might even be able to link the assassination attempts on Trump from Iran-backed money. Okay? So how do you think Donald Trump feels? Obama never did anything. Two presidents did something about terrorism on America. Ronald Reagan, who I voted for, and the only other president I voted for was Donald Trump. I voted for, and those are the only two presidents, coincidentally, that took action. So this has been going on. All the other presidents, bum Democrat presidents, they just played this little merry-go-round with Iran. Now, back in the day, they had the Shah of Iran. They had the Shah of Iran. And maybe 40 years ago. So Israel and Iran had a good relationship where there were still flights. There were still flights going from Iran to Tel Aviv. And then they ran the crown prince out of Iran and they put in this Khomeini bum, whoever he is. They put him in and they thought that, oh, he spoke all this stuff they wanted to hear. But then at the end of the day, he became a true blue hardcore dictator on the people. So I'm sure the people of Iran want a different regime, but just like any other hardcore communistic rule of power, have your citizens in fear. Of course, they don't want to, they don't want to do that. They're afraid to overthrow when they don't want to live like that. They don't want to be the sponsor of terrorism. They're living in a country where they just want to bring their families up and everything. And you got the powers to be doing all these cutie pie tactics. And Iran is very, very, very wealthy. So Donald Trump comes along and says enough's enough. Forget about enriching uranium so you can make nuclear bombs. Forget about that. And the UN, screw the UN. Donald Trump isn't going to play and walk to the beat of the drum from the UN that's going to say everything and list every reason why not to bomb Iran. So we're not going to play that diplomatic shell game anymore. That diplomatic shell game of bullcrap. So that's what Joe Biden did. Joe Biden, they're friendly. They're friends with the Obama. They're all friends. Bush 1 and 2, they're all friends with Iran. Iran is the brotherhood of those psycho Dems that received tons of millions and millions of dollars by this terrorist country, Iran. And that's why under Joe Biden, Israel, all that stuff was going on. All these things were just going unfettered, and all this and that. And we'll talk about it, and we'll have discussions and everything else. After decades of bullcrap discussions, enough's enough. Donald Trump had warned them. They had warned them. Keep it up, and there will be consequences. Keep it up, there will be consequences. They're playing poker. They're playing poker, okay? They're in a poker game. Donald Trump and Iran. Donald Trump is holding 3 aces and 2 kings. Iran is holding 2, 9, 11, Jack, 6. They're holding no cards. But they're holding no cards, and they're trying to be the bullies. So Iran pushes all in. Iran pushes all their chips in, and Trump says, call. This is what I got. 3 BF bombers. 3 stealth bombers. This is what I'm holding here. 3 stealth bombers. We're going to come in. We're going to have 3 of them come in at night. And there'll be 1 bomber that's a decoy. And the other 2, Iran is supposed to be this big threat of World War III and all this kind of stuff. Iran, they're a paper mache bully. So they're supposed to have all this money and, nuclear war. With nuclear war comes, you have the best technology. We come right in the back door and the front door and went undetected. We went undetected. So we were holding our cards. They were holding their cards. They got slapped. Next time, you want to play cutie pie games. Now, the big question is, will Iran retaliate? Will Russia? Russia ain't saying boo. Russia could come out and do whatever lip service they want. Russia could do whatever lip service they want. China could do whatever lip service they want. North Korea could do whatever lip service they want. You want some, come get some. Because our defense capabilities are way better than you and I might think. You might think that all the superpowers are equal in technology and how much destruction you can get. No, we have alien technology. We have alien technology. We have beyond Star Wars technology. So Putin, keep your flappers shut. China, keep your flappers shut. There's a sheriff in town. His name's Donald Trump. We're not playing any more pity-patty, throw rocks and run. And all these people, if you don't defend these crimes that are going on, then that must mean you approve of them. So why has Iran got away with all this? Because they were very, very wealthy, and they were paying these terrorist cells to do all this dirty work. Because at the end of the day, Iran and all their bull crap, they're promising them all these whatever. They're making promises. It's all a con game. It's all a con game. Philly Bob, Michael K, Mr. Anderson, Juju. So then you got Donald Trump's assassination, maybe the assassination attempt having ties to Iran and terrorism. So Donald Trump has the inside knowledge on what is what and who's in this position, who looked the other way. We have to remember there were assassination attempts on Donald Trump that were 95% funded by Iran. What do you think? Donald Trump's a punk? Come on. Obama's a punk. Joe Biden's a punk. The Bushes were punks. How come after 9/11, they're trying to separate the government from the terrorists over there so they could always hide behind, oh, well, the government doesn't agree with the terrorists. They're separated. They're separated. You don't go after trying to kick them out of your country. So how come they didn't just drop a bomb to come and do terrorism? You don't play games like that. What is America, little punk sissies? What they want to turn, like, what do they think that after Joe Biden, like America is sissified? What, is America sissified or something? We're sissified? No, it's Donald Trump, who they tried to assassinate, and who has been playing games with the United States for decades. We had a good relationship with the Crown Prince of Iran years ago. They ran him out. They ran him out for this evil regime that's been going unchecked for years and years and years. And we don't need their oil. Newsflash, we don't need their oil. Okay? The UN is the biggest bullcrap organization out there. They have their own agenda. And that Dannon, the Israel prime minister, comes in there and he doesn't get any sympathy from the international community. What does that tell you? No sympathy at all from the international community. Why? Because they're scared that Iran might attack them. And then what will happen? They'll come crying for America to defend them. No, we're going to take care of ourselves. America first. America first. They could play all those other games and then get billions of dollars sent to them, and then they betray America. Oh, we want, America's supposed to be the solution, and they're being betrayed by all these different countries for decades and making America look stupid. And behind the scenes, they're going death to America. So how could anybody, even the Democrats, the psycho deranged Democrats in America, how can they be against Donald Trump defending our country? How could they be against that? Well, Donald Trump only defended Israel. No, Donald Trump is defending himself, who they tried to kill and have pocket cells in America. Yes, he is trying to defend Israel. Yes, no kidding. But he's defending America. Yeah. Ronnie Pinder, how you doing? Thanks, pal. So they want to paint a picture of deception and bullcrap. It's over. It's been so crazy for so long. There's only one answer: smash. That will eliminate it. These countries want to start all the proxies Iran has, all those proxies Iran has around Israel, all of them. There's 6 or 7 of those countries right around little old Israel. And all they do is been trying to be cute year after year after year. And Iran's funding them. And Iran is funding them. The gig is up. Peace by strength. Peace by strength. If you're going to do something, there will be consequences. There won't be any bullcrap UN meetings and all that. And we're going to do this and we're going to do that. Israel got zero support from the UN at an emergency meeting last night. And if you don't support Israel just in general, forget about your religious beliefs, your political beliefs, and all that. Just on regular common knowledge and logic, then your thinking apparatus is skewed. So in lieu of all that, you have to make a stand. I hope, God forgive me, I don't want people to die. Not even Iran civilians that are just trying to have a regular life. They were promised a good leader after the crown prince, but they got this bum, and all he is the sponsor of terrorism around the world. But if it takes, because Donald Trump is not playing any games, and there won't be any World War III, because you got to now there won't be any traditional wars, boys and girls. There with soldiers and tanks, like we wasted and gave up all Afghanistan, the Middle East, all our presidents that just sacrificed our poor soldiers for nothing to play a shell game with Obama and Biden and all them and Bush, sacrifice our soldiers. Well, listen, ladies and gentlemen, there won't be any more soldiers on the ground, American soldiers on the ground. There will be nuclear missiles in the air. They will fly like they did, those 3 stealth bombers. They will fly in the air, 3 great soldiers, pilots. They will fly and invade the airspace, and they will take these countries out. We're not going to have that old boots on the ground and sending troops and these bum presidents just sacrificing our soldiers in vain, sacrificing our soldiers in vain. So, well, Joe Biden's sending troops here and they're doing this and that. Well, you know what? We've seen that game before. There will be no more deployment of 10,000 soldiers to go over there like sitting ducks, and then they're under orders of what weaponry they can use. Why are they being ambushed in mountainous terrain where we have the air support that can just blast these countries off the face of the earth? Oh, well, the terrorists aren't the regular country's government. Well, they better get it straight for themselves, because we should have took everything out, and then they could figure out later, and they could remove the terrorists from their country if they don't want civilians to get killed. So we've had enough of this little shell game, chess game. We had enough of it. So go ahead, Iran, retaliate, and God forgive me that you're going to lose civilians, because we'll turn the Iran into just glass. That sand will turn into glass. Juju, what's going on? Then you got the infidels at the UN, that are bought and paid for, the International Security Council, the ISC, bought and paid for. We condemn the attacks. How can they support this terrorism they've been doing? They just blasted Israel with all that, just destroyed Israel. How long does Israel have to be the brunt of Iran and all their proxy terrorist cells? How long? How many presidents does America have to go through before somebody says enough's enough? I mean, Paul Noble, how's it going? 80 wars since 1945, US won 5. Well, war's crazy. There's so many forces married to that. There's money, there's politics, so it's gone through many American regimes. Now, what Iran, the people really want is to get this bum leader out of there, but they can't say anything. They can't say anything. 35 years ago, the United States had a good relationship with the Shah of Iran until he got exiled. On the belief, he got exiled on the belief that they were going to be so progressive and so democratic, and they were going to be their own country. They're going to do this, they're going to do that. And then once he got in, he was worse than Joseph Stalin. He was worse than Hitler once he got in. And then he's had this reign of terror on the country. So this stuff's been going on for years. I mean, people are just so quick trigger to make replies and comments on YouTube, whatever. That's the nature of the game. But be educated. Be educated. If you're going to plead a case, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, know your evidence. Know the evidentiary facts before you go, oh, Donald Trump is no good. Oh, Donald Trump is the devil. Oh, yeah. You're retards. You're retards. What about the 30? What about the 50 hostages? What did they only do? Release 3? And we haven't even brung up the hostages. If you want to go to Exhibit A, Exhibit B, Exhibit C, there's 45 exhibits. This stuff, people have got so desensitized to the truth and common sense and logic that they just think this is just the way it goes, and America's a punk because we've had bad leadership. We've had bad leadership when Trump wasn't in office, and that this is just the way it goes. But then when America wants to show strength and power, oh, the Democrats don't even agree with it because they're bought and paid for. The people that are against Donald Trump don't realize how close we came to losing this country. Connect the dots. Ronnie Pinder, 1979, everything went south for Iran. Well, they've been violating the United Nations rules and violations for years. They've been violating it. All the recommendations and everything else, screw the UN. They've been snubbing the UN for years. Donald Trump does not need to walk to the beat of the United Nations drum. The United Nations is polluted with anti-American sentiment. They had an emergency meeting last night, and these bums were more or less trying to be sympathetic for Iran. There will be no more American aid going to those countries. Why are we giving aid to these countries that are MFing us at every turn? So you can't get sympathy from the United Nations Security Council after decades of terrorists and Iran and all their proxies committing terrorism all over planet Earth. We don't need their approval. We don't need their approval while we're getting smashed in the face at every turn. We don't need their approval. Well, we've been getting the hell beat out of us for a long time now, United Nations. Can you please approve this attack on Iran? When half of them people at the United Nations are getting bribed and paid off, all those countries, from the corrupt leaders. It's not for crimes. Don't get it twisted, Juju. It ain't crimes that we are sticking up for Israel. Yes, Israel is a piece of the puzzle, but use your brain a little. Iran tried to kill Donald Trump. Forget about Israel. If Israel didn't exist at all and Israel wasn't a part of this story, Iran has been backing terrorist proxy groups for a long time against America. Leave Israel out of it. Leave Israel out of it. What Israel is one subject, yes. But what Iran's tried to do one-on-one against America, and all their cute games that went unchecked for decades. Forget about Israel. Just think about America and Iran one-on-one. Okay? We have a president that tried to get assassinated by Iran. Really? Forget about Israel. Yeah, that's a piece of the puzzle. Twice. Everything was linked back. We had a corrupt FBI. We had a corrupt Department of Homeland Security. We had all corruption embedded, and all the crumbs lead back to Iran. All the crumbs lead back to Iran that is trying to take Trump out. Forget about Israel. Use your head. Use your head. If you're gonna make a statement, I appreciate you coming in the comments. I like you, but use your head. You want to look at certain events and compose a whole reply to that. You got to look at all the evidence and then make a decision. Oh, well, this happened between this and that. No, look what has happened with their terrorist pockets. Their people, they have terrorist cells, over 40 terrorist cells. Iran, it's scary, that are being funded by Iran. Thank you, Juju. So we have all that going on. And Donald Trump's trying to get them out of the country. Iran is threatening that if they get bombed again, that their terrorists that are on American soil right now will start conducting terrorist hits in America. Terrorism in America. We'll go right ahead, because that's when we're going to call out the nuclear bomb. We got a nuclear bomb, folks. It's called Puff the Magic Dragon. You never heard of it before, but you'll hear of it here on the Truth Serum. It's called Puff the Magic Dragon. And we will take out the whole country. So if Iran, Juju, that's got terrorists right here in America right now that want to conduct terrorism in America, there will be nothing left to the country once known as Iran. So if they want to play a chess game with Donald Trump, go right ahead. There will be nothing. No, they'll have to rebuild it. It'll be just like Nagasaki. It'll just be like in World War II when we obliterated, we knocked the whole country, we knocked them out. It'll be nothing but radiation over there. It'll be a desert with just nuclear radiation. So we'll see, Juju. We'll see, honey. We'll see. We'll see what you got. We'll see what you got. I stand for a safe America. I stand for, I don't want these terrorists. How are these terrorists getting in here? Oh, thank you, Joe Biden. Thank you, Joe Biden. Just let everybody in, all these terrorists from all over the place. Thank you. So they can have leverage. To make threats and say, oh, if Donald Trump retaliates against Iran, we're just going to have these terrorists taking people out in America. Well, go ahead and do it. Go ahead and do it. There will be nothing left as the country we know as Iran. There will be nothing left. Go ahead and do it. Don't force Donald Trump's hand. This is just the beginning. And Russia's not going to say anything about it. China's not going to say anything about it. Well, they can talk the talk. They could talk that diplomatic gibberish, but North Korea isn't going to do anything about it. You want to entangle in World War III? They're not going to win. It's not soldiers. World War III will not be tanks and soldiers on the ground. It will be lasers and stuff coming from outer space. And our $1 billion, each one of these stealth bombers costs $1 billion to make. 30,000-pound bombs. Go right ahead. Mess with Donald Trump. You won't have nothing left but glass. Okay? Juju, we have a right to disagree. We have a right to disagree. Yeah. I don't care about your propaganda. I don't care about your brainwashing. Facts are facts. The fact is that Iran has been funding terrorists. How do you refute that? They got 6 proxies surrounding Israel. How do you refute that? How do you refute that? We're not even sure, if you want to talk propaganda, Juju, we're not even sure if Iran has a complete developed nuclear bomb. We're not even sure. We'll find out. We're going to find out. So, like you said, propaganda and brainwashing. Well, we've been told that they're close to enriching this uranium to having a complete nuclear bomb. What if we've been brainwashed and don't realize that they have one? We'll bring it. So, in agreement with your statement, Juju, maybe then everything's been brainwashed. But the fact of the matter is, America has been taken hostage all over the world behind Iran. Yeah. JP Hilson says, I like your videos, but I have to say, the United States has never won any wars, both major wars that has happened. The Gulf, the U.S. left all the stuff there and has been supporting Iran for years. Well, JP Hilson, we didn't want to win those wars. It was politically motivated, billions of dollars being handed out to Cheney and all those other bums, those traitors. We didn't want to win any of those wars. That was smoke and mirrors, JP Hilson. We're sitting with the best stuff to just take these people out. It wasn't like we lost a war. We didn't even come with our arsenal. You can look at history and go, oh, well, this and that. Well, when we dropped that nuclear bomb, we won that war. Okay? We had the arms. When we wanted to win a war, we won a war. We dropped the bomb. Okay? The rest of these presidents, if you've seen, have been bought and paid for, and they've been playing pity-patty games like we're punks. We didn't want to win those wars, JP. Those were wars for profit, for corrupt politicians. Those were wars for profit. Do your studying. Those were wars for profit. We got soldiers dying in Vietnam, and Washington doesn't even want to wipe them out. So Vietnam had better technology than us. Vietnam was smarter and more advanced in bombs than the United States of America, J.P. Hilson? Is that what you're saying? Is that what you're saying there? Vietnam? So Vietnam was more powerful than America. Okay. Afghanistan was more powerful than America. Really? The Middle East is more powerful than America. It's because nobody took a stance. Nobody said enough's enough. Donald Trump said enough's enough. The game is over. At the end of the day, you could flip it, flop it, zig it, zag it. United States won the wars when they tried to win the wars. Okay? The United States won wars when we came. You're trying to call these things wars when America is entering into these wars with both hands tied behind their back, because Washington, D.C. and the commanders and the generals are saying, don't drop any bombs. Just sacrifice soldiers for political reasons and financial reasons. Don't drop any bombs, and all the corruption involved in that government apparatus during those wars. Those weren't even wars. How are we going to fight a war when we're not trying to throw punches? America lost this war. America didn't try to find. America could have blew them off the face of the earth. What was their Air Force? What's Afghanistan's Air Force? What's Vietnam's Air Force? And the other many countries that we engaged with, because we had corrupt politicians getting engaged in these wars, where we got to enter into wars and have tanks and soldiers on the ground getting sacrificed while Washington feeds us lies from the tablecloth. You can't buy Donald Trump. You can't bribe Donald Trump. Donald Trump is for America. He believes in America and its people. You want war? Well, we're going to show you a real war. That's just a little taste. Those stealth bombers, those 3 stealth bombers, they went right in. Let's see. Bill. Fly in a little lower over there and go take that out. Yeah. How's the wife and kids doing, Bill? Yeah, you got your target? Yeah, go ahead, blast them. Yeah, let's fly around again. Hey, Johnny, how you doing over there? Yeah, I'm all right, Jimmy. Get your target and your coordinates set on that other target there. Blast them out. All right, I'll swing back. Yeah. How's Jimmy doing? Did he get that scholarship? Yeah, he's in there. All right. We went in with a cup of coffee and got undetected. You want to play war games? You want to play war games? Real war games. This is Donald Trump's war games, not those bought off politicians you've seen yesteryear. No. You want to play war games? Let's play. And Iran is the country that funded and backed the assassination attempts on Donald Trump. Let's not forget. Forget about Israel. Iran and its proxies been slapping America around for decades. The gig is up. Donald Trump made campaign promises. Donald Trump, when he was running when he was running to get elected, Donald Trump made promises domestically and internationally. He made promises. This is what I'm going to do for America, and this is how I'm going to handle these punks abroad. Donald Trump got elected and approved by the American people in a blowout election. And he's doing exactly what he promised. He's doing so the consensus of America that had enough of this Democrat criminalistic regime, the Americans came out and said, we had enough. We trust in Donald Trump to clean this garbage up. And he's cleaning it up, folks. And this is only the beginning. So whoever wants to disagree with this and that, America, the majority of Americans, which came out during the election and said, we support Donald Trump because we want domestic protection and international peace. So America approves of Donald Trump. And we're not going to get slapped around by any bum countries like Iran anymore. And other proxies that have been perpetrating terrorist attacks on Americans abroad. So now we have to get our American citizens out of all these countries and all our embassies, because now our embassies abroad are going to be under possible attack. Go ahead. Go ahead, Iran. Go ahead. You want to make that move? You want to go bomb Israel again? You want to make moves on our embassies? Go right ahead. There will be nothing left but glass. J.P. Hilson. J.P. Hilson. I did like Trump until I found out about Epstein Island. Okay? All right. That's a remark. I don't give a crap what Epstein Island is. I don't care what Trump's relationship was with Epstein Island. I'm talking about American peace and protection. I don't like about Epstein. What do you watch, CNN and all that garbage? I never liked Trump before. But I represent I agree with a strong leader. Whatever his name is, I don't care how many ladies he was in bed with. I don't care about Epstein. I don't care about any of that. What's that got to do with protecting Americans? Huh? I don't like Trump, and I did like Trump until I found out about Epstein Island. Who gives two craps about Epstein Island? We're trying to protect our country. That's the brainwashing. They got you indoctrinized. By sleight of hand. By sleight of hand. They got you fooled. I got some swampland for sale, JP. Sorry, buddy. I got some swampland for sale. I think you'll be the highest bidder. Epstein, what's Epstein got to do? What do prostitutes and whores from Trump's past got to do? What is going on in our country? You're coming weak, bro. That's weak. That's weaker than palm water, okay? You're coming weak. We're talking about real stuff here. Americans being targeted globally. Terrorists that are on American soil right now. You're talking about Epstein 30 years ago, stuff that happened with Donald Trump? Speculation at best. Some of it might be true. True or false, who cares? It's 2025. This is what's going on right now. We're at risk of being ambushed and targeted for total mass destruction. Donald Trump won't have it. He ain't going to sit around and let more things happen to innocent Americans globally. No. It's the year 2025, bro. I don't have to like what Donald Trump does or doesn't do in his spare time, boys and girls. I am a lifelong Democrat, but just because generationally speaking, the Italians more or less were Democrats. No, I am smart enough to see bull crap, and then I'm smart enough to see strength. But you people out there that are like, you're more emotional repliers. You're emotional responders. You respond emotionally. Donald Trump did this. Donald Trump did that. Like little girls. You're like little girls. I don't have to like Donald Trump. I like his policies. I don't care who was up there. If it was Charles Manson, whatever. I like policies. I don't like Democrat, Republican. He's a Democrat. He's a Republican. That's CNN News. That's Fox News. Jesus said, if you got eyes to see, then see. If you got ears to hear, then hear. That's what Jesus said. Shout out to Jesus. Okay. Look at facts. You're all the replies are emotional about the character of Donald Trump. It's irrelevant. We are Americans. We are patriotic and loyal to our country. When we're getting smashed around, we need somebody to defend this country and not get crapped on like it's been through all these Democrat leaders and Democrat-run legislators and congressmen that have been crapping all over America during the Biden administration. And let the open borders, let all these terrorists in. So how many Iranian terrorists we have on American soil right now? J.P. Hilson? Yeah. Paul Noble, he's just a big bully. He's just a big bully. When a terrorist group comes after these people, they'll want some protection. When it reaches close to home, they'll be like, help me, help me. Will the big bully come help me? There's an Iranian out in the parking lot blasting everything up. Thank you for joining Paul, JP, and everything. I welcome you in here. Quantum effects. So you could look at it through whatever prism. You can interpret these things whichever way you want to, of course. But the bottom line is, I want a strong America. I want a strong America. We can't be getting slapped around and bullied and all this garbage. And there's no support from the United Nations, that corrupt body. That United Nations been so corrupt since Henry Kissinger days. Since Henry Kissinger, okay? So there you have it. Thanks, everybody, for joining in the chat. Thank you, Paul Noble, J.P. Hilson. Juju, thank you. We might disagree on things, but that's politics. We still got to enjoy our regular lives. Thank you, Joel Gold, James Rockford. Thank you. I appreciate it. Ronnie Pinder, thank you. Lee Montoya, hey. I appreciate you guys coming in here. We could disagree on things. Doesn't mean we have to hate each other. Mr. Anderson, you know. So that's that. Why does U.S. get so mad? J.P. Hilson says, why does the U.S. get so mad? We're being punked all over the planet Earth, in case you haven't noticed. We're being slapped around by punk nations, instigators, in case you haven't noticed, through all these corrupt administrations America's had, in case you haven't noticed. Did you see what happened in Afghanistan? J.P. Hilson, did you see what happened with the withdrawing of the troops of Afghanistan? All right, folks, there's a Cash App. Support me there. And that's that. I appreciate you coming in. Be the kings and queens of your world. Don't give up politics and stuff, which we better pay attention to at this time. Sometimes, you know, I say we gotta have good relationships with family and friends, rise ourselves up so we can have a better quality of life, better thinking, better spirit, better soul. Yes, we have to have that, and we could get animated. It doesn't mean just because we disagree. It doesn't mean we have to hate each other. Everybody's entitled to an opinion, but you rise yourself up and do good and be confident and don't give up. Keep fighting. The world is a vampire. It wants your blood. We got to keep our mind together, our head together, and our goals together. Thank you, Juju. Good guy at heart, but you are brainwashed. Well, I'm sorry I'm brainwashed. Thank you, Juju, for coming in. I still appreciate you coming in here. We disagree on things, but we have to look by that. There's more to life than that type of stuff. Let's try to be good to our fellow man. Okay. Thank you. I'll be coming in again whenever I do. So hit the subscribe and do all that. Thank you, folks. I appreciate your input. And that's good. When you could still be friendly like Juju, who's been in here a lot. Thank you, Juju. But, you know, my best friends in life, we disagreed and argued over everything, but we were still the best friends, you know. We were still the best friends, you know. So if we don't agree with one another, it doesn't mean it has to escalate that we're enemies. No. How would the world be if everybody just thought the same way? It'd be a robotic world. All right. So thank you, folks. Love yourself. Be good to others. And if you're struggling, keep fighting. Don't give up. Thank you, Paul. JP, thank you, folks, for coming in here. And share the video. Share the video. You might not be aware I've been censored and shadow banned and all that, but I'm not gonna try to give up. I tell the people, don't give up, even under oppression and stuff like that. Don't give up. Don't give up. Don't let go of the rope. Don't let go of the rope. If you're struggling with the different things, bad relationships, drug addiction, and the world looks like a dark place, no, don't give up. Don't give up. You can come out of it. You can come out of it. We live in a fallen world. You could come out of it. All right? If we disagree on politics and stuff like that, I believe in Jesus Christ. Might not believe in organized religion, but I believe in a spiritual realm. You want some Pink Floyd? Yeah, we're gonna do another visit. My next thing, we'll do a political music video. We'll do that. My good people, it feels good to be nice. All right, thank you, folks. Let the Creator of the universe bless you, which I call God, and His Son Jesus Christ. Thank you, folks.